Hey everyone, today we are reacting to a new YouTube creator that we haven't reacted to before, but it's somebody that I respect very much, Matt Kim. He tends to have views that are very similar to mine. I suppose they would be labeled as quite black-pilled in the sense where he's always playing the devil's advocate, as I like to do. It's a really interesting video, and we'll just be watching a short portion of his podcast today titled Push Me or Walk Out. Let's start it.
But we talked about United Kingdom. Because the United Kingdom, they are rolling out this digital ID system. And the premise of why they're rolling out this digital ID system is because they're saying, how are we supposed to know who's in the country if we don't have digital ID? And that's kind of crazy, isn't it? Is that they let illegal immigrants into the country, they create chaos, and then from that chaos, they're like, hey, do you know what? We got a solution. We have a solution for you. Let's just get everyone digital ID, and this will solve the problem that we created. They create the problem so that they can give you the solution, and you actually have no choice. The other option is, do you know what? We're just going to all live with these people, which not the best idea. Or you just digital ID everybody, which is nuts. Watch this one. Watch this one.
So this is pretty much the reason why for the past few videos, especially when it comes to the Australian demonstrations that were focused on mass immigration, I was quite negative about it. And the reason is, as I said, you're playing into the government's hands, because ultimately you can see that the government, even though they feign to be against this whole movement of being, anti-mass immigration, they're calling them white supremacists and such, it's still in the mainstream media. What does that mean? It means that it's a part of the overall agenda that they are trying to create. People live this agenda, and it wouldn't be in the mainstream media if it didn't have government support, in a sense, right? And this is the reason why I was so against mass immigration, because I was worried that it was going to be pushed as a reason for them to implement digital ID. And so for everybody who is, cheering on, mass immigration, it's such a big problem, we need to end it now, blah, blah, blah. As I said, it's not going to happen the way you expect. What is going to happen is a government agenda that they've been trying to push will be pushed through using that as an excuse. And it seems like that's the way it's going.
Where are you? Where are you?
And that is why today I am announcing this government will make a new free of charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that. Because decent, pragmatic, fair-minded people, they want us to tackle the issues that they see around them. And of course, the truth is, we won't solve our problems.
We won't solve our problems unless we get everyone digital ID. We won't solve the problems that we created unless you guys all comply. You know all the problems that you have with the immigration and the rape and the murder and everything going on? The ones that we created? Well, by the way, we got a solution. Why don't we just track all you guys? We'll give you an ID, and it's just for verification right now. It's just so we know who's here. Oh, by the way, we're also going to link it to your work. We're also going to link it to your social credit history. We're also going to link it to what you said online. We're also going to link it to what you do and consume online. We're also going to link it to your banking. We're going to link it to we're going to track you with this thing. But it's for your safety. What if you don't want to get it? What if I don't want to get it? I mean, it's a very question. They said, this is for people that want to get jobs. Well, good thing they have
UK citizens will,
Well, what if I don't?
will have to have one. Well, the plan is that we're going to roll this out by the end of
No,
the
my
Parliament.
question is, what if I don't? What if I've got my job, so I don't need to show this to anyone? So what if I just don't do it?
So if you don't have one, then you'll have a problem if you want to get a new job.
No, I'm saying I'm not doing this. I'm not seeking a job, so why should I get the digital ID card? Why do I do it? Is there some fine for not doing it? Is there an incentive to do it? I'm just thinking I've got no reason to do it.
Yeah, look, this isn't a heavy-handed approach. We're not planning to go around finding people. But what we are going to do is make sure that everybody's got one. In the same way, Charlie, as you've got a national insurance number, if you're a citizen of this country, we'll make sure that everybody has a digital ID.
So help me with this. I know we're plotting through this, but
We'll make sure everyone has a digital
Who's got
ID.
a job has got a national insurance number.
I know maybe you don't really need one. There are other ways to do it, but we'll figure out a way that everyone
If I
has
just
one.
go to my employer and show them
This is the kind of language that was sort of used during the COVID pandemic to get people vaccinated. At least that's what I think. You know, they're sort of avoiding saying that they're going to be forcing people to do it. But, I mean, who doesn't need to work?
my national insurance number, is that not sufficient? Are they
Sorry, the volume's
being
low.
precluded from employing me?
It won't be sufficient. I just want to be really clear about that.
So they can't employ people unless they've seen one of these
a digital ID.
cards.
Yes, that's right. That is the plan. And the major benefit of that to the entirety of the UK is that we will therefore be able to disrupt the illegal market where people come to this country and work illegally and undercut British workers who could otherwise get those
Well, national
jobs.
insurance number would have the same effect.
We will. You know how we created this migrant crisis in the country? You know how we opened the borders and we let people in and we told everyone that it is inhumane to remove them, that this is okay. You know how we created this problem? We got a solution for you. Just get the ID. We've seen this over and over and over again. Create the problem in order to offer a solution. Take away the rights of everyone that doesn't comply, give them back to the people that do, so that other people want the same rights as the other citizens and they comply also. We've seen this over and over and over again. They're doing it. This is crazy because you're seeing it in the UK. And you can see how it's going to happen all over the world. You see this problem. This migrant problem is not a UK problem. It's all over EU problem. It's in France. It's in Germany. It's in the United States. You see it right now. You see ICE all over the United States trying to catch people. Oh, like, oh, they're coming after ICE. This is really dangerous. Oh, yeah, look at all the riots that we've created.
Yeah, so this is sort of the point that I was going at as well. You know, this is a global issue, in particular when it comes to Western countries in particular, right? They're all sort of, they all sort of have this migrant issue. And that's why, again, why I was so adamant that the wrong approach would be to complain about mass immigration because it is a symptom of the actual problem, which is government corruption. They have no issues with blaming mass immigration. They have no issues with talking about issues that they want you to talk about, all right? And that's the reason why, in a way, right, you have to understand that it's manufactured. But they will never get to the root cause, which is the corruption, right? I mean, because it's all planned. Technically, from their point of view, everything's working like clockwork, exactly the way it needs to be working. Because they need to bring in digital ID. They started with that. They started with the idea that they need to bring in digital ID. They need to create a problem that would make it acceptable for people. And they know that conservatives would be more than willing to accept a digital ID in comparison to, you know, liberals, for example, if they use the migrant problem as the primary sort of supporting reason as to why they should, right? When it came to COVID, it was much easier to get the liberals on board because you needed to have this idea that everybody needs to be safe, everybody needs to be taken care of, whereas conservatives are a little bit more individualistic in that regard. So it's just about playing the people that you need to, playing to the people that you need to in order to get the support for what you want done. And in particular, when it comes to the digital ID, they knew that they needed the conservatives on board. Yeah.
This is really dangerous. For your safety, why don't we get everyone digital ID'd? In the United States, they're like, oh, the United States, we would never do that. We would never comply. Really? Did we not spend an entire year fighting for something called voter ID? Voter ID, which is a federal database of people, it's the same thing. Real ID. We have it. We just don't call it Brit ID. They're implementing it and they're doing it, and there is zero pushback because they manipulate the word. It's like, like when Congress makes a bill and they want to pass a bill, they'll call it something like, this is the freedom bill. It's like, oh, you can't vote against the freedom bill. It's for freedom. It's not what it is. All the drugs in Venezuela is causing a problem. Let's just start another war over it. This is going to be a problem. In the United States, your ID was typically done by the state. Your driver's license, done by the state. They're creating federal databases on people. This is not a good precedent. This does not end well. You can see it. You can feel it. You can see all the surveillance measures going throughout the country, and they agitate the situation in order to get the reaction. They want certain reactions. They want you to be angry. They want you to be scared.
And so in that case, who's the side that they're trying to get scared? Who's the side that they're trying to get to defend? It is the conservatives. It is the people that are against mass immigration going out there saying, oh, this is the cause of the problem. But it's not. There's another culture being allowed into your country, right? And they're being told not to assimilate. And that's all on purpose. So where is the problem really, right? The government has done successful migration programs before. But in this particular case, they are using the guise of tolerance to say, we're going to replace you with a whole other people. We are going to make their culture not just respected, but almost like implemented over the current culture, right? So obviously people, are not going to react positively to that. And they know that. Even though they say, you have to be more tolerant, blah, blah, blah. They know for a fact that they're pushing people's buttons. They're pushing people to the limit, right? All by design, as I said.
So that they can roll out these programs. Hey, thank you. It started with the Patriot Act. It's true. After 9/11. After 9/11, they were able to track everything that we do, everything we say. They can control our movement. If you want to get on a plane, you have to check in SAR, let them know exactly where you're going. They make you do the humiliation ritual at the TSA. Take off your shoes. No, you can't carry toothpaste that's over 3 ounces because, toothpaste. Do you know how many terrorist risk and threats that the TSA has stopped at the airport? In the 24 years that we've had the TSA, do you know how many they've stopped? 0. It's all for show. Oh no, we're just gonna do a facial recognition scan for you now. Like, oh yeah, we didn't see that one coming. How many times have you been at the TSA? You're walking through the little machine. They take a lady maybe an older lady. They pull her aside and they start patting her down. They're patting her down, they're patting her down. And you're thinking, that seems a little inappropriate. They're getting a little aggressive in the way they're touching her. I don't really feel comfortable about that. I think we've all experienced that at least once at the airport. You're thinking, oh, I don't know about that. That don't seem that cool. But what do? Nothing. We sit there, we think in our minds, oh, that's pretty messed up, guys. But I got a plane to catch. I don't want to get myself in trouble. I don't want to be the person that speaks out. I don't want to be the one that causes a scene because this old lady is being inappropriately fondled. I got a plane to catch. I got somewhere to be. They're conditioning us to do nothing. That's what the airport is. That's what the TSA line is. They're conditioning us to be compliant. We've seen it over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's crazy, and we've gotten so used to it that we've sort of conditioned ourselves. I mean, I know that whenever I'm about to jump on to a flight or go to the airport, I'm so dreading the whole process, you know. Used to be the case, you know, the only thing that you're dreading is maybe going up to immigration, showing your passport, and then them going through the visa and giving you the stamps. And that was pretty much it, right? And then now it's become like a very in-depth screening process. I know there are some places where they don't ask you to take out the laptop because they have a good enough machine now to scan through. But a lot of places, you know, they still get you to take out your laptop, iPad, devices, or whatever. And, you know, in the States, up until recently, they were getting you to take off your shoes. And yeah, as he said, it's a humiliation ritual to get you used to a process that wasn't even part of it. They don't have any credible statistics to back up the fact that they're, you know, that they have this process in place till today when it's already been 24 years onwards. And yeah, it perhaps it all is just about conditioning, right? Which is, it's annoying. I mean, it's pretty insane how we allowed ourselves to get, you know, controlled by this globalized system where all the elites of the world in each nation are sort of working together to implement these really, really BS procedures that have no backing whatsoever in terms of, you know, evidence as to why they're being implemented. It's just sort of like America says we have to, or else you can't fly in. So then everybody just sort of, you know, okay, the airlines are all sort of preparing for it. The airports are all sort of preparing for it, you know. So then, like, we just have to follow. This is the kind of big, large, globalized system that is in charge of our world today.
You know, I saw this. I saw this video today. I think it was from like Wednesday or something like this, but I just saw it today for the first time. And tell me what you guys think about this video. This video was... That's a TSA agent. They were, I guess, arrested the mom's son. And he like threw her to the ground. And it like, I understand that she's being annoying as fuck. I get that. But he like threw her. He like manhandled her. It's like this little mom lady. It's just, look, like lifts her off the ground and throws her. You don't think people are gonna get pissed off seeing this? You don't think the other side is gonna be really pissed off seeing this video over and over again on repeat? Like, this doesn't...
I suppose the question is, who is the other side? You know, if you have, you know, in terms of the states, for example, you have the Democrats and you have the Republicans, and they're both wings of the same bird. Well, who's the other side? There is no other side. The other side is the people, and the people are powerless. And this is where things have to change, you know. Mentally, people place so much authority with the government because they have a monopoly on violence, right? But what people don't really think about is that monopoly on violence was given to them, especially when it comes to the US. You guys have your own weapons. You know, you guys can, you know, you can go to a shop and buy a gun. So technically, you have the capacity to have the same amount of violence that they are putting upon you. Maybe, obviously, you don't have a tank or anything, but other countries, they don't have the ability to fight back. And this is why America is actually so important, because they have the highest chance to sort of get past this. And yet, it's so sad because they seem to be one of the easiest to manipulate mentally, to play this team game and continue to just sort of be complacent.
And, well, this was like way aggressive. Look how many officers are there when this happens. Look how many people are there. And I get it. We won't... Doing the job of ICE is not easy. But this shit is wild. Where's the other one? I have one more. I'm going to show you one more. I'm going to show you one more. Where's the other one? This lady's being annoying as fuck. Get out of the way. I get it.
That was really cool, guys. You guys are super cool for that. Wow.
It's like some lady.
Big tough guy. She's getting your side. She's getting your side. Go get it for her. Go get it for her. Give me your side. Give me your side now. Give me your side.
This dude just walked up and like straight up pepper sprayed her and walked away like a bitch.
You're gonna need some shit. You already got me earlier. You have to. It's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse.
You would think with a gun in your hand and surrounded by all your buddies, all of them, you know, armed to the teeth, and you have to pepper spray a woman in the face. It's just ridiculous. Like, I suppose, like, the thing that's the most disgusting is the soldiers have no morals. The soldiers who were considered honorable in the past, they have no morals. And I feel like the men who do have morals are getting stepped on in this society, not valued for having honor. And that's the sad state that we're in. And the best soldiers, the most honorable soldiers, are probably sitting there depressed, probably on the verge of committing suicide because of how disgusting of an environment the world has become. There needs to be a solution to this, to be honest. There needs to be... I struggle to say it, but there needs to be a mobilization of those who are honorable to go against what the system is trying to push forward onto us.
They're like shooting rubber bullets from the roof. And I get it. This lady is annoying as fuck. But what do you think happens when these videos start coming out over and over and over again? Does it feel like it's being escalated?
And here's the thing, right? Like, yes, the lady is being annoying, right? But it doesn't matter. She's a citizen. These are army reps, right? They shouldn't be allowed to do this to the populace, right? What happened to freedom of expression? What was she doing? She was standing in front of a car. Okay, you can, I would be fully on board if they wanted to grab her and move her to the side. There's 5 to 6 guys there. You don't need to push her with one guy using all of his might. If he was alone, fine. But there's multiple of them there, you know? They could grab her on each hand. They could escort her to the side. They could have the car move forward. You don't need to behave like this. Again, you have the monopoly on violence, and you don't wield it with responsibility. Instead, it's being wielded by the bullies at school kind of deal, right? And then we'll change it a bit, right? Like, what if this is the hospital where Charlie Kirk is being held, and then you have a conservative supporter out there, and then all of a sudden army reps come and start pushing her around, right? You have the right probably cheering this on, but then in that other example, they would equally be angry. Now, my job is to hopefully make everybody who's watching understand that we are all people and we could fall on either side at any given time. And once we see that, we have to view things from that angle always. Do we want the government to have a heavy-handed approach? Not on liberals, not on conservatives. In general, do we want them to have a heavy-handed approach? And I would argue no.
Look at this guy. Look how many officers there are there. How is this? What do you think will happen?
Actually, I was wrong. So these are police that are armed to the teeth with essentially military equipment, and they're controlling their own population using all of this stuff. It's crazy. They're geared up like Marines.
It's just a matter of time before this shit boils over. And I get it. Fat white lady being super annoying, like egging on the federal officers. Fine, I get that. But what do you think will happen? If you create these situations, you escalate the violence, you escalate the anger, you anger both sides, chaos. Like, oh, do you know what? We have a solution. We can figure this out for you, everybody. We started this stream, we started this episode talking about, hey, the Israeli are killing women and children. And we said, yeah, that's fucked up, man. That's really fucked up. I don't know Palestinians. I've no real connection to them, but it's messed up. Like, you shouldn't do that. And then you have these federal officers like pushing around just women. There's plenty of them there. They're not in danger. This is not a threat. We're here from the government and we're here to help. So what happens? It's going to get there. Miss me with it. Did you see Trump's speech? He said international effort to enforce biological weapons convention by pioneering AI-powered verification system. Yes. That was during his UN speech. He said that he was going to roll out AI, and Palantir is going, yes. Nice. Another big win. Not gonna lie, bro, seeing shit pisses me off, but it's what they want. The whole thing is to anger you. It's supposed to get you mad. It's supposed to get you angry. It's supposed to get you frustrated. It's supposed to create a boiling point where both sides collide. So that they can be like, hey, do you know what? we need to put some order in this. You know how it's so dangerous. You know how you don't want to go outside. You know how everyone seems to be fighting. We'll solve it for you. We'll get you back to order. We'll get you safe. We'll make you feel good again. All you got to do is install this app. You install this app, you'll be fine. We'll figure everything else out. All it means is that we're going to do these checkpoints everywhere. Do you not realize, like, we are living in a country where we have normalized the idea of the federal government stopping random Americans and checking their ID. It's just the first step. First, they did it at the airports. Now they do it on the freeways. We are normalizing the idea of stopping American citizens on the road and asking for ID. By the way, that's supposed to be unconstitutional. You can't pull me over, or you can't tell me to show me your ID without a specific crime that I have alleged to have committed. Oh, but this is different. We have to do something about the migrants. So therefore, your rights as a citizen actually don't matter right now because we have a bigger problem to solve. What problem to solve? The problem you guys created? That problem you created when you guys just let people in? That problem that you created? Oh no, but it was the previous administration. I don't give a fuck which administration it was. Why do we let governments and why do we let administrations have a pass? Because all they have to do is say, oh, it wasn't us, it was the other guy. Dude, we're just citizens living in this country trying to live our lives. It doesn't matter if it was a left politician or the right politician that did it. At the end of the day, the politicians did it. What does it matter which party that they are? They're both there. Oh, no, this was Biden's policy. Oh, no, this is Trump's policy before. Oh, no, this is Obama's policy. It doesn't matter. They caused this shit. They caused it, they allowed it, they create the problem, and then now we are living in a country where they can stop you on the road and say, ID, let me see it. Oh, no, you have to show me. No. What crime? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Do you belong here? It's like, oh, but I'm not doing anything wrong. They are restricting our movement. They are taking our right to privacy. And it doesn't matter which party did it.
I think it's a really good clip from Matt Kim. I agree with him on a lot of things. Pretty much everything. I mean, aside from last year when he was really, really pushing for Trump, I already sort of was on the black pill stage. But now he's just arriving there. He's just starting to realize, like, actually, no, none of this is making a difference. And it's so important for the Americans in particular to realize what's going on, because America, regardless, is viewed by the Western world as the example. And the Western world is viewed as having the principle of freedom, primarily because of the United States of America. So when the United States starts to implement a control apparatus that is similar to that of China, what you're going to find is the standard of freedom, the definition of freedom as a whole is basically viewed from the rights that you are awarded as an American citizen, because those rights are not really awarded fully in the same way across the Western world. But they all sort of benchmark towards it, right? So as soon as you see that go down, you're going to find the entire West is going to go down along with it. And I suppose that's the reason why a lot of people tend to import the pop culture or the political culture of America into their countries. But yeah, you have to remember that when you are doing so, you are also playing into the game, because anything that you would have known from the pop culture of America or political culture from America would likely already have been planned if it's reached the mainstream, right? So I think, dire times ahead. Hopefully, we will see strong leaders be born out of these challenges. because with difficulty, you know, pressure makes diamonds. That's how I view it anyways. I want to know how you guys think about this. Are you equally as black-pilled as me and Matt at this stage, or is there hope? And yeah, like if you like the content, subscribe for any future upcoming videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.